Well, Will, disappointing afternoon this afternoon, the scoreline, but I think we've just been saying it wasn't really a 7-1 game.
No, obviously we're disappointed, full stop, to lose the game. To concede 7 goals in the manner in which we did was further disappointing, but at the same time, I suppose if you can take any positive out of a heavy defeat, it was the fact that we created 5, 6, 7 really good chances, and but for the bounce of the ball and a bit of luck, the game would have been a 4-4, 5-5 sort of game. But I remember watching the men's first team years ago against Enfield, and we lost 5-0, and that game could have been 5-5. And sometimes, you don't always get what you deserve. But that said, Dartford were better than us today. They deserved the win, created more chances than us, were powerful, very powerful side, and we just didn't cope with the ball over the top. They're very direct, very go back to front really quickly and just flood players through, and we just didn't pick up the runners, and we didn't attack the first ball or get around the second ball. And when you do that, you're always going to concede goals. And Zoe made a couple of really good saves as well, and I just felt disappointed that we conceded very quickly after half time, and I think we were just starting to get a little bit of momentum for a period of sort of 15 minutes after that, when we had, as I say, 2, 3 really good chances. If one of them goes in, that game's a different game, but it's all if buts and maybes, and football doesn't, often doesn't go that way.
And that goal just before half time, our goal really came out of absolutely nowhere, and it must have sort of completely changed the mood in the dressing room.
Yeah, and we knew that with the second half we could put them under pressure, and we could go and move the ball a little bit quicker and create chances, which we did. We just not taking the chances and giving away really sort of basic goals at the other end, and we just can't keep doing it, and we'll look at it. It's like everything. It's very easy to be reactionary when you've lost 7-1 and blame this, that and the other. It doesn't get you anywhere. You need to go back to the statistics. You need to look at the VO. You need to look at everything. You need to understand what we need to do to improve, and you do it on a methodical basis. There's no point in sort of shouting and screaming at the players and telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing. Of course, they'll have to look at themselves and take individual responsibility for their own performances, but at the same time they'll need to look back at their contributions throughout the game and work out what they need to do to improve.
And context as well, that's 8 wins out of 8 for Dartford now, so
yeah,
we're not the first side to have come up against them and come off second best.
And that's what was a bit sort of depressing for me, was that they weren't. 7-1 sounds like it was a complete thrashing, and in terms of the goals they scored, of course it looks that way, but I really don't think the game was like that. If we would have scored 4 or 5 goals, you wouldn't have said that didn't reflect the play or the chances we created. And that's where I just think we need to be a bit more clinical. But again, we're talking cliches. It's defending. It's how do you play in each box? If we defend our box better and we score in theirs, then it's not the game it was. But I should imagine every side which comes here will say the same thing.
It's still important to keep sort of ahead of the pack, behind the top 2 or 3. Dartford, Fulham, Ebbsfleet look as though they're sort of the top 3, and we need to stay and try and be the best of the best of the rest.
Yeah, and I think as you say, that's always, we've sat down with our targets at the beginning of the season. We knew Fulham away, Dorking away, Dartford away. This was going to be a really tricky week, and players aren't used to playing midweek games. They don't have that, and that took a lot out of us on Tuesday. We were really competitive, and it was a difficult game. And then to come, having been away at Fulham and then to come here as well was always going to be a challenge. But football's a brilliant thing for changing your focus. We've got FA Cup next week, and we can highlight what we need to do to be better throughout this week, and we go again next week with a slight change of focus.
And home at the VBS in the FA Cup, and hopefully with a few supporters coming down to give their support.
Yeah, and I think that's it. We really value all the support we get. We really look forward to playing at home. We obviously have had we haven't been able to do that much this year for a variety of reasons, and how our fixtures have fallen. We should get, I'm hoping we'll have 2 or 3 back from injury for next week. Whether they would have made a difference today or not, who can say? But I just think we need 1 or 2 more bodies in, which I'll be working hard on in the next couple of weeks. And if we can do that, I think we will be close to the rest. You know, I don't think we're far away. I think games like this highlight where we do need to improve, but if we can do that, I think we'll be better than the rest.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Will, and we'll see you at Sutton next week.
Thank you.